Hi there, my name's Murph, and welcome to Prog Monster. Today we're here to do a look back at a classic rock album, and they don't get much classicer than this one, if that's even a word, who knows. Anyways, it's of a band many people consider to be the best rock band of all time. The album, many consider their best album, and has a lot of very good tracks on it, and it has a fairly lengthy history of it about the album, more so than a lot of other albums do. I did some reading on it and stuff like that, but I'm mostly going to talk today about my own personal experience with this album, and of course we're talking about this one, Led Zeppelin IV, which other people call different names, but for me it's the fourth album by Led Zeppelin. That's good enough for me to know. So, the vital parts about the album that I've looked up and I actually remember some of this stuff too. This album was released on November the 8th, 1971, so it is coming up to its 50th anniversary. Doesn't seem that long ago, but apparently it is. Anyways, it was released it was recorded at Headley Grange Studio in Hampshire and Island Studio in London, and also did I think the final parts were done at Sunset Sound in Los Angeles, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, it was produced at those locations. The album is produced by Jimmy Page, the guitar player for Led Zeppelin, if you've been on another planet and don't know that. Anyways, about the album, it's got from top to bottom pretty solid range of songs, some of them classics, well-known songs. It starts out with the song Black Dog, which is a heavy bouncy kind of type of song. I've actually seen a lot of other people perform this song. Nobody does it like Zeppelin though. To me, it's one of the best tracks on the album, if not the best, probably the best track on the album. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that because it's my personal favorite song on the track. I've heard it a lot over the years, so I don't listen to it as much as I used to because it's basically just kind of burned out a bit for me. But a heavy song, and most of John Bonham's stuff's pretty heavy on this album. Rock and Roll, it's another song that's been played a lot, probably more than Black Dog to me. I still dig it. I've seen a couple of other bands do this song. The most notable one was by Heart. I think they did a great rendition of the song, but it's again another heavy drums, heavy on the drums, and really good guitar on it. Nothing that most people, if you know anything about Led Zeppelin, this will be the album you know something about. Battle of Evermore, I really like this song quite a bit. It's not one of my favorites on the album, but I still like it quite a bit. Then we get, of course, the Stairway to Heaven, which, is probably the most overplayed song in the history of rock music. However, it's a very good song still. You can't take anything away from it. It was well structured. The lyrics are great. Plant's voice is great, and the song builds to a crescendo. It's not my personal favorite of Led Zeppelin on this album. I like other tracks better, but I can see its mass appeal. It's just, to me, it's just like Bohemian Rhapsody. It's been killed, beaten to death, but it still stands up. Here it is 50 years later, and the song's still played a lot. Misty Mountain Hop's one of my particular favorites on the album. I know some people don't like it as much as some of the other tracks, but I've always liked it. It was the first song that I liked by Led Zeppelin. I think it was the first song I liked by Led Zeppelin. If it wasn't, it was pretty close to that, and I played it quite a bit. Four Sticks, decent song, kind of different in some ways, but I like the drumming on here, of course. Then we're going to California, another track that I really like a lot. It's just probably the other song on the album, other than Black Dog, they've been my two perennial favorites for as long as I've had this album, and I've had it a long time. This particular one is my second copy of it. I don't even know what happened to the first copy, to be honest. I can't remember, but I still listen to it on occasion. It's not always the Zeppelin album I go to. There's a couple of other ones that I like probably more, but I mean, to me, it's a very good album with a lot of very good tracks. Of course, the Levee Breaks is a song I didn't initially like on the album. I'm not sure why. It might have been my age. When I first got this album, it was probably in the early 80s. My friend bought it first, and then I liked it. I had Led Zeppelin III, so I decided that I would collect this one, was my next one, and then Led Zeppelin II after that. And I actually I don't know if I have any of the other ones on CD. I had them all on LP at one time, the first four anyways. When the Levee Breaks, it's a methodical song that goes on, and I really like the heavy kind of bluesy sound to it. And it's grown on me, like I said, over the years. It's now probably in the top half of the album for me. And so when I listen, I never skip any of the tracks on the album, except for maybe I might skip Stairway to Heaven a bit, just because it's just overplayed. It's played to death. Still a great track, but sometimes I just don't feel like listening to it. Anyways, I bought this album in the early 80s. My friend John, who was always the first one to discover something that he liked and then pass it on to me. And I wasn't a huge Zeppelin fan, although I started wanting to listen to them more because I became a big Rush fan, and Rush had been heavily influenced by Zeppelin. So I started listening to them. And the first album I got by them was, like I said, I think it was Led Zeppelin III, which was very acoustic, a much different album than the other three, of the first three. And at first I didn't like it. I thought it was kind of sappy, actually, to be honest. But gradually it grew on me. And then I got this one, and this was more like what I was hoping. And this grew on me. But I still like Led Zeppelin III. It's maybe my favorite Zeppelin album now. Anyways, they're a band that I've listened to quite a bit over the years. They're not one of my favorite group. They're not in the group of seven, but they're still a very highly rated album group. And Led Zeppelin's one of those groups, and I can't really think of any other group at this point that they have no songs that I've listened to at this point that I don't like. I mean, there are some of those ones that people have a problem with, like Dia Maker and Hot Dog and a few songs like that, but I don't have a problem with any of those tracks. I see it as them just trying something different, and I would rather have listened to the stuff that they do that's different from them than the stuff that some bands do that I just shake my head at. But anyways, it's a great album. If you're new, young, or haven't had any experience with Led Zeppelin, you can't go wrong buying this one first, if you want to try them out. Anyways, that's it for my Led Zeppelin look back video today. We'll be doing more look backs in the near future. I think the next one I have on docket will probably come out. This one's probably going to come out today, and then the other one will probably come out in a day or so from now. But truly great album. If you like this video, please like me at the bottom, subscribe. It gives me opportunity to do more stuff. I haven't done much on Led Zeppelin. In fact, I'm not even sure I've done anything on them at this point. But anyways, this is my first one. An enjoyable experience. Led Zeppelin IV has been since the beginning, and it continues to be an album I like to listen to fairly regularly. When of course, when I have time, I've got a lot to review here. So this is Prog Monster on a lovely afternoon. Please Have a good day, and we'll talk to you later.